Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So, how's the past 1.5 day been? In one word. Beautiful. Calming, okay. Peaceful. Lovely, huh? Transformational, yes. Any other word? Hanji? Accomplishing, very good. Now, in one word, takeaway this afternoon. Before we know, we arrive, we see a new place. By the time we start getting used to it and settle in, it's time to leave. But time to leave to come back again very soon. But what's the takeaway? One word. Which means, what is it that will become a part of my life from this evening? The breathing exercises, very nice. Peace within. So for that, what am I going to do so that that peace within remains? Outside the gate, the world is the same. It's not changed in the last 2 days. Since 2 days, we come into a different energy. And that vibration allows us to experience who we truly are. What you are experiencing in the last 2 days is not the peace of the place. You are experiencing your nature of peace, where the vibration of the place is like a trigger, and it triggers your original vibration of peace. But then, till we make that a constant experience, and 1 day is not enough for that, obviously. So till we make that a constant vibration here, which means I can be peaceful every morning when I sit with myself, then it translates into I can be peaceful most times of the day, even while I'm working, even while I'm in the middle of all activity. Next, it will translate into I can be peaceful in a crisis. But for that, it requires us to do something on a daily basis. Otherwise, once we go out of the gate, that vibration will impact us. So, 1 day vibration here, but then after that. And so, by the time it's Monday morning, and the air has already started influencing us, then this 1 day, 2 days, remains in the subconscious as a very beautiful, peaceful experience. Yeah. And that's very important. It will be there with you forever. You'll never forget this. That's for sure. Because we meet so many people who don't forget it even after 30, 40 years. Yeah, we had gone there, whether it is Mount Abu or whether it's here. But it becomes a peaceful experience recording, like one of my memories of life. So one way is to keep it as a memory of life, and the other way is, what do I do that this starts becoming a way of life? Not just a memory. Not just when you return on Sunday and everybody says, how was it? And we say, yeah, it was very peaceful, it was very nice. But it can shift to, from next week, everyone saying to you, you've become very peaceful. How did this shift happen? So that's the intention. That's the intention which we should take back. Because we meet so many guests who come to the campus every week, whether here or in Mount Abu. So everybody takes back a different intention. For some, it's a beautiful experience. For some, it is experimenting with it for some time and then gradually saying, no, I don't have time, and it just fizzles out. And for someone, it becomes a lifestyle. And for those who will make it a lifestyle, then for them, this vibration will become the vibration of their homes. This vibration will become the vibration of their workplace. And this vibration will become what they live at. They live at this vibration. So everyone you've been interacting with here, whether it's Brother Bala, all the brothers and sisters, or the ones who are taking care of the campus, they're not sitting idle ever. They probably have more to do than what you have to do. Simply because they don't have a holiday. So they don't have a Sunday off. So it's 365 days of the year. And yet we can create this kind of a vibration. So coming here, there is a reason. The reason for coming here is not just what you do in terms of a session and an activity. That can be done anywhere. That can be done anywhere. But coming here, the reason was for you to be able to see a model that this can work in practical, not just in theory. Theory is good. I can be peaceful, I can be stable in a crisis, I should not get angry. All that theory is good. But most of us already know the theory. But what we believe is it's not possible to be that way out in the world. Which means we said theory is right, but practical is not possible. And also because most people around us are not living this way. So we don't see any practical evidence. And also because we get influenced by the vibration of where we are. And so we also shift there. So the idea of coming to a place where it's a working model, right? That too, a model like this campus is 130 people living together. And you can see them everywhere around you. Young boys and girls. They don't belong to the same family. Like we at home, 4 or 5 people, family. They don't belong to the same family. They didn't even know each other when they came here. And then they're living together 24/7. They're sharing rooms with a person for a lifetime who they did not know before. And they don't have a Sunday off, Diwali off, no off. 365 days of the year is Seva. And 24 hours they are in the same place with the same people. Not like us. That a few hours at work and a few hours at home. And then when there was lockdown and we were not leaving homes, things changed in a lot of homes. Things changed in a lot of homes because probably for the first time in their life they were all together 24 hours at a stretch. Initially, first few days seemed nice. And after a few days, they were looking at each other and saying, Acha, you have this habit also? You have this sanskar also? So getting to know each other. So that lockdown phenomena of living together 24/7 within one campus most of the time, 365 days of the year, is the life everyone here lives. And then there is no hierarchy. And there is no salary, and then there is no promotion, and there is no incentive. There is no one motivating them every day, do this, nothing. And most of them could be doing the most simple, ordinary, which out into the world we will use the word monotonous work. Here we don't use that word, because monotonous is a feeling, not what we do. But it's monotonous in the sense the same thing, simple thing, every single day. So what I'm trying to share is, even then, we have this kind of a vibration. So which means back at home it's very easy or difficult? Should be easier than this, right? It should be easier than this when it's our own family, our own children, our own parents. And then we have few hours at home and few hours at work, and then there it's a different set of people, and then there is an incentive, and there is an enthusiasm, there is a motivation to move ahead, do something. Everything is there. And yet, how is it that we've gone and created the opposite vibration? And most important is, if even now we don't create a shift, then 5 years later, which direction is the vibration going to move on its own, upward or down? On its own, down. If we create a shift, then very high. But who is the creator of the vibration is us. It's not the workplace, it's not the family, it's not the house. It's me. So we are here to taste what it feels like. Now the same program, had we done it in a resort or in a 5-star hotel, we would have got the same structure, better than this probably. But the only thing we couldn't get there is that practical proof of the retreat. So our intention leaving from here should be, how do I translate this model back there? Do you think you would want to translate it? Would you want to translate it? Yes. And do you think it's possible? Possible. And what would we need to do for that to make it possible? Anji? Continue. Yeah. So continue what? Continue, of course. Nothing happens without consistency. A daily practice. Even if you experiment with a diet change. You know, many of us are saying, okay, I'm trying this diet, or I'm trying this yoga, or I'm trying this exercise. We all do experiment with changes, but we get the result only when that is consistent. So what could we make consistent from Monday morning? Hanji? Awareness, yes. Pardon? Meditate every day, yes. Intention. Sow the seed of the intention every day. And what's the intention? What should the intention be? If I can create one thought as my intention, that this is the intention, or we can, this is the purpose of my life, or we can say, this is the way I live life. So what could that one thought be? Happiness. Priority. Intention here would be priority. What is the priority in life? Over here, while doing everything that everyone is doing, priority is very clear. And the priority is, here I need to be, aim to be perfect. Which is a priority which most people have not kept out there in the world. And because they didn't keep it a priority, that's why they're moving away from it. Anyone who makes it a priority will, if I just keep a priority that this tablecloth should look white, doesn't matter what everywhere else is happening. So I'll be able to do it. It's my priority. So every 1 hour I will just come and check this. This one is fine. Any stain, any water, any priority. That tablecloth is my priority. And everything else is my responsibility. Difference? Everything. The entire whole is my responsibility. So I will take care of everything. But there's always meant to be a priority. So my priority is this tablecloth. Then maybe on and off you might find something 1% missing here and there. But you will find this flawless. Because I set this as my priority. Now, today back in life, how do we keep our priorities? When we use the word perfect, what do I want to be perfect in my life? Priority. 1, 2, 3, 4, priority. What do you want perfect in your? Perfect means everything you're working hard to achieve that. So priority is Hanji? Health. Very good. Health. So it's priority, right? So you take good care of the body. So you will eat right, sleep right, exercise well. Priority. Health is one priority. Any other priority? Relationship is a priority. Very beautiful. So family relationship first and then work relationship, or the other way around? हाँ, तो वो clear रखना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? We have to keep the priority list, fine. So first priority health, second priority family relationship, third priority work relationship. No, not on priority. Okay, no, never mind, it's fine. What's the third priority then? Friends and Friends and relatives, third priority relationship, my social circle. Fourth priority, work relationship. हाँ, ठीक है. So fourth is work relationship. Fifth, any other thing on? What about the work itself? The work itself, my profession, will it not be on a priority? So where is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where? Third. So 1 is health, 2 is family relationships, 3rd is work, 4th is social relationships, and 5th is work relationships. Okay, order changed. Anything else to fit in there? And is this order fine, or do we want to change the order anywhere? Now, we all have this priority, and how many of us can say, my body is perfect, healthy, always? Relationships is our priority, and how many of us can say there never is any issue anywhere? So how is it that I kept this tablecloth at the priority? I'm investing so much of time and energy in that, and yet it's not flawless, yet it's not spotless. In fact, it seems to be getting more and more. It seems to be getting more and more complicated. 25 years back, depression word we did not know when we were in school and college. It was like one off, acha. There is something known as, we had probably not even met anybody who was going through it. Cancer was like rarest of rarest. So if somebody says they have cancer, it would be like, acha, cancer, such a big thing. Cardiac issues, big thing, after 65, 70. So how is it that all of us, last 25 years, kept our body health as a priority, and we really invested a lot of time and energy and money in it also to buy good health. And yet it just seems to have got more complicated than before. Diabetes common, cancer 1 in 8, depression 1 in 5, relationships. Divorce 25 years back was like, don't tell anyone they're not living together. And today it's like, so? I put it on social media. Today I've taken this decision to move away. And it's not about whether I hide it or what, it's why is the rate increasing? We invest so much in that relationship. We have a phone by which we are connected 24/7 to each other. We have technology by which we are 24/7 connected to our children. Then why is a relationship stress? Why is parenting stressful? Too many distractions. So earlier there was no technology, so problem, and now there's technology, so problem. No, it's only because we missed the one thing which is top on priority. Who is influencing the health of my body? The food I eat, my sleep cycle, and the exercise regime. Is there anything else that influences my body health? Here. So if I put this on priority, which is fine, but then it's incomplete. If I take care only of what I eat and sleep and drink and exercise, and I don't take care of here, then my priority is incomplete. If I put my relationships on priority, then for relationships, who is creating the relationship? Who is creating the relationship? Here, my every thought, my every feeling, my every intention that's radiating towards people is creating a relationship. So if I put relationship as my priority, where will I need to take care? I will need to take care here. Who's going to work every day? Here. So if I put my profession as my priority, who will I need to take care of? Here. Who is working? The mind. Who is taking every decision? The intellect. So if I don't take care of the mind, which means I don't take care of the self. If I don't take care of the self, the ability to take care of the body, the ability to have harmony in relationships, the ability to have perfect things happening at work cannot be achieved. And most important, because I did not put the self as a priority, the self started getting neglected. And because the self is the seed, it's like this. This is the seed. From here, the trunk is the health of my body. And then from that starts the first set of branches, which is my family. And then the expansion of the tree. It goes like this. But which is the seed of my life is here. Now, one little thing that we've been doing for the last few years, we are working extremely hard watering the tree. Washing every leaf, washing every fruit and flower. But we are not spending that little time to water the seed. And that's why one more epidemic that we've created is we're always short of time. We're always short of time. It's our mantra, I'm very busy, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. Little children are saying, I don't have time, I don't have time. Why? Because we are working hard here. And then if someone comes and tells you, 10 minutes morning meditation, I don't have time. I don't have time because I'm working on the tree. So I don't have time to nurture the seed. If I don't nurture the seed, then it's not possible for every fruit and flower and leaf on that tree to be healthy. And sometimes something is perfect, the other thing gets ignored. Sometimes this side is perfect. Take care of your family. Sometimes you feel work is getting ignored. Invest more there. You feel family is getting ignored. It's not creating the balance. Why? Because I did not prioritize the seed of the tree. I prioritized the fruits and the flowers of the tree. But it was not possible to create healthy fruits and flowers till I prioritized the seed of the tree. So what you have been doing for the last 1.5 days, you are working on the seed of your life. And just within 1 day of taking care of that seed, and you are already experiencing peace, which the world says is not possible. There they have started saying stress is normal. And you're 1 day. What is 1 day? 1 day is nothing. And in 1 day you're saying, I'm feeling peaceful. Which means feeling peaceful was so simple. Was so simple. What did we have to do? We only have to just start taking care here. And in 1 day, somebody out there will say, how many years does it take to experience peace? And they don't even say experience peace. They say we are finding peace. Then they're still finding only. Everybody is looking for peace, finding peace, seeking peace. And within 1 day you're saying, I'm experiencing peace. So what did we do in this 1 day? That which sounds difficult or almost impossible outside came so easy, so natural. Nothing. We shifted our attention towards looking at the seed. Now, what do you think? If you experience peace, you think the body will be healthier? Yeah. The body will be healthier? Sure of that? How many of you wear that watch which keeps showing the pulse and everything? Anybody here wears that? Please check it here. What is it showing to you?
I checked it yesterday in the pyramid.
Huh.
So my heart rate is between 95 to 100 normally.
Huh.
It went to 68 to 71.
Please stand up and share this nicely with everybody. Everybody has to hear this. Zor se. Huh.
So that is what I was trying to actually track, like how does it really affect. So my heart rate normally, like even when I'm just normally doing everything fine, it's between 95 to 100. But yesterday when we were in the pyramid, it went down to 71 and to 68 at the last as well. So it was wonderful.
And when we are stressed, what it must be? So normal is 95 to 100, right? So normal is 95 to 100 and stressed would be always, it would go above 100, 110 yes. Easily. Yes. And just sitting in the pyramid, yet not having learned how to meditate. Yeah. Yet not having learned how to meditate. Just sitting for the first time, just sitting in silence. And was that all that it's needed for the heart rate to come down to this? How simple is this? Can it get simpler than this? Can it get simpler than this? No. Shukriya. And which means to create perfect health. Where would I need to work on first? Here. Because every thought we create, every intention, every feeling is an energy. And that energy vibrates to the body. That energy vibrates to the body. And so our normal life, our so-called normal life, where we are hurried, where we are busy, where we are agitated, where we are irritated, where we are jealous, where we are insecure, where we are competing and therefore always in a race. So when you're in a race, now suppose you have to sit again in a car and actually go only in a physical race. Will this change? Only just a car race, but will that change? Yes. And you can't even imagine what happens when you are in your professional race. And then we are saying, why so many cardiac issues? Why so many young heart attacks? Why so much hypertension in young people? Why young people mean we are saying, but the body has not aged, so why has these things issues? Because they're not getting created here. They're starting from here. Here. So which means if we had to go back and tell a doctor that all that you need to do to get everybody's heart healthy is to start taking care here. But they're not talking about it. They only say take care of your lifestyle. And we thought lifestyle meant what I eat, drink, exercise, sleep. Life is here. And when the life exit, this is a dead body. So when we say lifestyle, it means the way of my thinking, feeling, speaking, behaving, working. That is lifestyle. Eating, drinking, sleeping is much later. My thinking, feeling, speaking, even your vocabulary creates a vibration. The way you speak and how you speak, the words you use, the higher the vibration of the word you use. And that's why when we say, I am busy, I don't have time, just check this watch at that time when you're using that word. And then just say, I'm easy, I have lot of time. Check what it says. Because every word is a vibration. So when I'm creating an energy of lack, I'm busy, I don't have time, I'm busy, I don't have, running in the corridor, I'm busy, don't. Check what is happening to the body. The body is not designed for that kind of hyperactivity. And it doesn't mean we slow down our work. It just means we set right the way of thinking. So lifestyle means life is thinking, feeling, speaking, behaving, way of working. Way of working. And so if I don't create some shift there, it's almost impossible to create a perfect healthy body always. Depending on how fit my body is, my body can handle these stresses that I'm creating on a daily basis. Now it all depends till which age it can handle that stress. And now we are meeting little children. Because for those who are not eating the best of diet, they are getting affected by that stress at an earlier age. Because when the body is not perfect fit because of the food they eat, and then the creation of stress is happening at an earlier age. And relationships, we know what is happening. So the most important thing to take back from here is prioritize right. Because if my priority is not right, I may work extremely hard all my life, but I will not achieve what I wanted to achieve. And what I wanted to achieve was happiness, health, and harmony. Even if somebody had to stop and ask you, why are you working so hard? Why are you working so hard? So what will you say? What do you want? You will say, I want to reach here, reach here. Then the person says, but why do you want to reach here, reach here? What will you say? What do I want? What do you want? क्या चाहिए life में? Happiness, simple. Simple. But we thought that when I work harder and harder and harder, the more the happiness will increase on the journey. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. Because it was not happiness after I achieve. It is happy while achieving. That is what this place teaches us. Happiness not dependent on an achievement. Because even if my happiness is dependent on an achievement, once I achieve, within a few days I have my next target set. Once I buy, within the next few days I know what I need to buy next. So which means it's transient. It's just there for those couple of days. And most important, while I'm achieving. So while I'm achieving could be 2 years. That when I reach here, when I reach here, when I reach here. So 2 years. Now in these 2 years I said, when I reach there I will be happy. So 2 years was allowed to be stressful. angry, everything is allowed, fear, insecure. I'm allowed to create everything in 2 years because I believe the happiness is after I achieve. So even if I'm extremely happy on the day I've achieved, or I'm extremely happy for the next 1 week, but 2 years, what damage have I done? So priority means not happiness after I achieve. Happily moving towards the goals of my life, which means prioritizing my state of mind to be right. Right. And then what happens? If for any reason I do not reach my goal in the time stipulated, if for any reason, look at all that's happening around us now. Someone thought and believed and aimed and invested that by this July they will be in so and so role in their organization. And in March they get an email they've lost their job. Now what? Now what exactly? So because I had not taken care of my mind, because I thought I will be peaceful and happy in July, and so I have already created my stresses and fears and anxiety while reaching towards July, and in March comes this email. Is there going to be a strength to be able to cope up with that situation? No. And that is when the situation hits harder. The situation is difficult, but it will hit harder depending on where I am in my emotional health. So when we put health as our priority, it will have to begin with emotional health, which means the health of my mind. And also emotional health is important today because it's the only way to prevent a mental health issue, which you will see rapidly increasing around you. And unless you are taking care of your emotional health, you will not even be able to understand your colleagues or other people around you if they have already started experiencing a depressive symptom. And a lot of things are happening out in the world only because nobody was able to recognize the symptoms when they just began. Because we thought, low mood hai, ye to normal hai, so we allowed them to be like that. Because for us, low mood is normal. So if somebody was feeling low, not enthusiastic, not smiling enough, not talking as they would normally do, neither the family, neither the people at work recognized that anything is happening. Because we said, normal hai. Normal hai. And then we allowed them to live with that symptom for a very long time. And then some of them chose the decision not to live because they were experiencing that and they had thoughts of not living and nobody recognized around them. So it is so important for us to be able to see these signs as soon as they begin so that we are there for each other. But I will be able to see that sign in someone only if my mind here is silent and not having its own noise and clutter. So empathy and compassion is only possible if my mind is peaceful and powerful. Stress cannot create empathy and compassion. Stress can create motivation with words. Stress cannot radiate power. And today is the time where words are not working. Because everybody knows the words, which means everybody has the wisdom, the knowledge. But I don't have the power to implement that knowledge. So what is needed as a leader right now, not just to be intelligent, not just to be a good speaker that I can motivate my team with my body language, with my verbal and with my expressions, but to be a powerful mind. Because only a powerful mind will be able to empower the other mind. Whether it is a mind at home or a mind at work. And that's going to be the need of the hour. And the future, this is going to be the priority. So the sooner we begin, the better we will be equipped to handle what's going to come very soon. What's already begun, but it's going to happen at a very rapid rate. Very rapid rate. So you will talk to people, you will say, don't worry, koi baat nahi, sab theek ho jayega, and they will look at you like this and say, no amount of presentations, no amount of best vocabulary and no amount of best intelligent points can strengthen people's minds. It can only be a stimulus and say, हाँ, अच्छा है, that's all. But I cannot live that way because I don't have the strength. So the only thing that's needed now, that you have the power because you are creating that power on a daily basis, and then just your being around somebody. Just your being around them, which means your vibration should become like the vibration of this place. So you're a radiator of vibration. So if coming into this place for one day has allowed you to experience peace, now this vibration can become your aura, which means your energy field. And so people coming in contact with your energy field will start feeling peaceful. They will get empowered. That is priority. We are going to see times now where people will have everything except for peace and power. Because they worked hard, and because we work hard, we earn well, and because we earn well, we can buy almost everything that money can buy. But when it comes to peace, happiness and power, money cannot buy. Neither for yourself nor for your family. And so we meet a lot of people who are feeling extremely helpless, and that helpless feeling is, I worked so hard to earn all this and I'm not being able to use this money for what I want to give to my family. Because everything here is energy and vibration, not physical. We thought happiness comes by what I achieve and what I buy. And so priority. So can we set the seed as the priority? Can we keep the seed as the priority? Yes. Now just visualize Monday morning, seed as the priority. What would you do? What would be the difference between your last Monday and your coming Monday if you just keep the state of mind as a priority? Not just morning meditation. वो तो है ही, that is something we are going to begin doing. But after that, keeping that as a priority, what will happen? How will the day be? Close your eyes for 30 seconds and see Monday morning. First hour at home. First thought when I wake up on Monday morning. The energy of the house after a long weekend. The Monday morning traffic to work after a long weekend. And then of course everything that I have to do in the day. With only one difference, that now the seed is the priority, the being is the priority while I'm doing what I'm doing. Whether it is nurturing my family in the first hour, whether it is driving to work, or whether it is at work, I am doing everything, keeping the being, the I, the self, the mind as the priority. Hanji, let's come back. Can you see something? What will be different? What are we going to do different? Morning meditation, fine. Important is what during the day?
So more acceptance, as in everybody is unique, is on their own journey.
Perfect. So now let's take this one point. Everyone is unique. Everyone is on their own journey, and so acceptance. Now, what would it mean, acceptance at home? In action. Acceptance in action. And then acceptance on the road. Everyone is on their journey, even in their cars and scooters, right? So whatever happens in life actually first happens on the road. The way people are driving their own ways. Different cars, different styles of driving, different ways to break the rules of the game. to do anything to move ahead of the other person just for saving 5 seconds. Doesn't matter, I'm ready to come right in the middle of the road, and even if 4 cars are blocked because of me, I don't care. Because I'm focused only on I have to reach faster. The way we drive is the way we live life. It's exactly the same. So what we see on the road is not just driving styles. We see sanskars, different thinking minds. They are not driving styles. Someone who honks unnecessarily, impatient, irritable. Someone who can even use abusive language on the road. It is because they use abusive language during the day. Nothing is different on the road. The road is the simplest way where you can see completely what a person is. You can see how this temperament of this individual is. Some people you will find, they will take a pause, they will slow down and allow the other person to go ahead. Do we find people like that on the road? Of course we do. And some people, they are way behind, but they will come like that and go right in front of you. It doesn't matter who you are and what you're doing. So what is it? Is it a driving style? No. Is it that they are getting very late? No. It is here. It is a lifestyle. This is called a lifestyle. So the first thing which is also going to change is the way we drive, if we drive. And if you don't drive, then whoever drives for you, you will get them to change their way of driving. Because if I drive in an agitated way, I will not reach my place of work with a peaceful mind. I will not. And which means even without a stimulus, I've created so much stress. The stimulus is yet to come when I'm on the workplace. But because stress has now become my personality, my lifestyle, so I don't need a stimulus now to create stress. Initially, it starts with a stimulus and I create stress. After that, it becomes my nature, my personality, so I can create it without any reason. There's no reason on the road for people to get stressed. There's no reason on the road for people to get abusive. There's no reason on the road for people to be so reactive. But they do it. Why? Because it's reflecting the state of mind. And what we see on the road is actually reflecting the state of society. So if you see what's happening on the road today, see what was happening on the road 3 years back, see what was happening on the road 5 years back, see what was happening on the road 10 years back, and you will see a direct connection between society and the way we are on the road. So journey on the road and journey in life, same style. Same style. Some people will not pause on a red signal. Do you stop on the red signal? Always? Even at 5 a.m. in the morning? At 5 in the morning, with not a single car on the road and no CCTV. The car from behind will hit us if we pause. That's why. No. Leadership quality means if I stop, the car from the back will also decide to stop and follow the rules of the game. Make it a principle from now onwards. Because why? This mind here will look for a chance to keep breaking the rules of life. But aise, but thoda, whether on the road or whether in life. So I have to keep this mind self-discipline, self-control, and for the mind to know that you don't take the decision, it is I who decides how we're going to be. So you might want to save the 30 seconds, but I'm not going to allow you to save the 30 seconds. We are going to stand here till it gets green. So you're actually starting to master the mind. Because today, if I allow the mind to have its way on the road, then it will start having its way in life. And then we say, the mind is not in my control. It's just doing everything that it is doing on its own. So the road is the ideal place where I should follow all the rules. Because it's a place where I spend at least an hour every day, minimum. And it's a place where I can easily teach my mind to follow the rules of life. It increases my willpower. It increases my patience if I stand on a red signal for 1 minute with nothing on the road and I'm just standing. But if I'm impatient, I'm like, what am I doing? So it is sanskars, it is our personality. So when we say Monday morning the self will be a priority, it means we will be doing everything that we are doing, but we will be taking care that here it's going to be. So acceptance means that what will change in my relationships if I accept everybody is unique? What will change?
Essentially starting right from home, as in the time to wake up and all of the things.
But we still have to wake them up on time. So now what is acceptance? Yeah, so acceptance doesn't mean you do what you want to do. That's not acceptance. Then to everybody will do what they want to do. So acceptance means you will do what is right, whether it is children at home, whether it is this team at work. But I am not going to create critical and judgmental thinking about you. Because I understand you are different from me. You are different from me. If my children are not my way, how can the rest of the world be my way? Simple. It's not possible. So I understand you are different from me, your ways of working, your definitions of right and wrong. Everyone at work believes that they are sincere. And yet we look at people and we say, you're not sincere. And they are like, huh? Matlab? What do you mean I'm not sincere? What do you mean I'm not hardworking? What do you mean I've not put enough effort? What we are trying to say is you've not put in enough as what I believe is enough. So we are not looking at people for who they are. We are looking at them through our lens. And when we look at everyone through our lens, they're all different. But then we don't call them as different. We call them as wrong. If you're on the road, if someone is overspeeding, so let's say if your normal speed on this highway is, let's say, 100 or 90. If someone is at 120, you're going to look at them and like, kaise gaadi chalata hai? Very bad. Because that person is at 120, it's wrong. You are at 100, someone is at 70. Are they right? Are they right? Are they right? We are going to look at them and say, kya problem kya hai? Sadak khali hai, gaadi chalao theek se. Which means neither 70 is right, neither 120 is right. Who is right? The one who drives at the same pace and same style and same speed as me. Why? Because I will always believe that my sanskar is right. Because it's my sanskar. That is why I have that sanskar, because I believe it's right. But acceptance means understanding that my sanskar is right for me. The other person is carrying a different sanskar. I may believe their sanskar is wrong, but they don't believe that their sanskar is wrong. And so if we are just to go up to somebody and say, you're wrong, there's going to be a big reaction from that side. Because you have just told a person who is right that they are wrong. And so even out of role and position, they might not be able to say anything back to you, but in their minds, they're counting 10 things how you are wrong. And that is what we say. The ego of one is communicating with the ego of the other. And that's what's called an ego clash. Because I believe you are wrong and you believe I am wrong, and we are saying, come, let's sit and talk about it. We need to discuss. So we are discussing verbally, but in our minds we've already decided that the other person is wrong. Acceptance means I am right. As of now, I believe 100 is right. And I understand that the speed at which you are driving is right for you as of now. Let's sit and talk. And when I radiate this energy that you are right your way, then that other person will also radiate an energy. Ocha, you are also right your way, but you're different from me. That is acceptance. We don't even accept our children. We say, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Maximum number of times we use the word wrong for them. And because we call them wrong so often, they say, who is wrong? Who do they say is wrong then? They don't say, mummy, papa saying I'm wrong, so I'm wrong. They say, no, mummy, papa are wrong. That is rejection. So when we understand I am unique, it is my sanskar and your sanskar is different. And when we say both of us are right and then talk about it, we are talking about it with respect as our fundamental energy flowing between the two people. Acceptance is respect. By the end of our conversation, one of us might agree to change, which means the one driving at 70 and 120 might agree to come to 100, or the one driving at 100 might choose to go to one of the two. One of the two might agree to change, and change means whether it's a decision at work, whatever. Some cases, both will not agree to change, and both will continue to say, but at least the respect and the energy in that relationship remains harmony. And we say, never mind, we haven't yet come to a solution, but it was a lovely conversation. We'll talk about this again after 3 days. So relationships don't get affected. Energies don't get affected. Minds don't get affected. Bodies don't get affected, which means health remains fine here, health remains fine here, everything remains fine here. We haven't yet come to the solution or the consensus on what we wanted to do. We'll talk about it again. Between a husband and a wife, between a parent and a child, there could be situations where you can never come. That will also happen. That can also happen, that there is some issue on which both are not agreeing to. That is also fine. We can live with one disagreement. We can live with 10 disagreements also. That I and you don't agree on this. And we are fine that we don't agree on this. But if the energy of every disagreement becomes rejection and disrespect and then aggression, then we decide not to live together. Living together with disagreement, no problem at all. How can two people be identical? It's not possible. Same between a parent and a child. We don't need to close the doors and say, I want to be alone, leave me alone. No. So that is acceptance. That is the fact that I am unique, you are unique, which means as of now I believe I am right, but I also understand you and your definition of right is different from me. So the word that we need to change is shift from wrong to different. In Hindi it is alag, not galat. Because the minute I create that, like, how can this person do like this? How can you do like this? How can you be like this? It's rejection. It's rejection. And once there is rejection from one person to the other, 110% you're going to get rejection in return. It's just a rebound. And that's why acceptance is so important. That everyone is on a journey, different definitions of right and wrong, and sometimes they can be completely wrong. They can even be unethical. But they don't believe that they are wrong. So because they don't believe that they are wrong, don't call them wrong. Because otherwise there's no solution after that. Even if you go to a jail where everyone, most of the people who have done wrong are there. And wrong as per the law of the country. So there's no my perspective, your perspective, their perspective, not perspective. As per the law of the country, they have done something that is wrong. But if you go there and talk to each one of them, they have a very good reason why they did what they did. Today they might agree that they are wrong, but the day they did it, they felt what they did was. So even a so-called crime, at that moment by the one doing it, does not believe that they are wrong. If they knew they were wrong, they will not do it. No one does anything wrong. Do you ever do this? This is wrong. Come, let me do it. Who does that? After 1 minute, I can say I was wrong. But while I was doing it, I believed it was right. So I did right, even if the entire world says I was wrong. 4 people walk into Mumbai city with all bombs strapped around them and create havoc in the city. You think they believed they were wrong in what they were doing? No, according to them, nobody is more right than them. So no one believes that they are wrong. And that's why we should also not create that energy for them, because that creates a barrier, that creates disrespect and rejection, in which the fundamental foundation of the relationship breaks down. Because then it's not only you calling them wrong, it is also they calling you wrong. It's not just one energy wrong, it's both energies wrong, and two wrong people trying to create something right. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. So acceptance only means I understand that right now this is your right and you will have a reason for it. And then when we understand spiritual principles, we actually understand why people are the way they are. That's another long journey to understand how this works. So that could be our first thing for Monday morning. I accept. Close your eyes 20 seconds and get people on the screen of your mind whom you were not accepting till Thursday. And not accepting means not the complete personality, but certain parts of that personality. A particular habit, a particular way of working, a way of living at home, critical, judgmental thinking, words also complaining to them, about them. And see how many thousands and thousands of thoughts we must have created about them. And thousands is less actually. And all that energy went to them. So let's apologize to them first. Let's apologize right now and say, I'm really sorry for all this energy that I have sent you. And now bring on the screen of your mind that particular personality trait, habit, sanskar, which doesn't match yours. And we still don't agree with it. I still don't believe it's right. But I'm changing my energy today. With just one line that I sent to them now. I accept you as you are. I accept you as you are. I respect you. And now visualize what energy would flow from you to them just when you say these two lines. Completely opposite for what we've been saying for many days and months or maybe years. I accept you. I respect you. And now visualize that the energy coming from them to you has also changed. Okay, come back. Do you think there will be any difference just by saying one line? To begin with, we don't even believe that line yet. We don't even feel that line yet. We just say it. Like a child is taught to say thank you. Ever taught your child how to say thank you? For those who have children, child is given, wait, first say thank you. Say, let me take it first. No, first say thank you. At that time, the child doesn't even know what is gratitude, why we have to say thank you, nothing. But we just make that child do it as a discipline. Thank you bolo, thank you bolo, thank you bolo. Later on in life, that child will understand why gratitude, why thank you, and the energy behind it. But the habit could not have got created later on. The habit had to be created then. Okay, thank you bolo. Now, once we invest a few days to get that child to say thank you, for the rest of the life, thank you is on an auto mode. I don't have to live in awareness to say thank you now. I don't have to live in awareness to say thank you. I can say it in the middle of the night. If someone gives me a glass of water, I'll say thank you. Karenge ki nahi karenge? Do you have to be aware to say thank you? No. Similarly, I accept you needs to be a habit for the next few days. Just like the thank you. Say it even if you're not feeling it. Saying it if you don't even agree to it. Just say it. Because that's the first step to work with our own mind. Because our mind has created a groove. The mind is a pattern. My rose thinking pattern is like a groove. It's like how water flows in this mud. It's a groove it creates. Now Monday morning I'm going to create a different direction groove. It doesn't happen on the first day. The water will tend to flow back over there. So I just have to say it like a mantra. I accept you. The mind will say, what is there to accept? Look what they are doing and you want to accept. I accept. And I accept you doesn't mean I agree with what you do. It just means I will not create any negative energy for you. That is all that is the meaning of I accept you. No negative energy radiating from me to you. So which means I don't experience the negative, the criticism and the judgment. I don't send it to you. It doesn't come into the foundation of our relationship, and it doesn't flow at home and in our workplace. Words are very few in a relationship. Thoughts are like in millions. Millions. Unlimited. And that's what creates the energy. Now why is the vibration of this place different? Because this is what is practiced over here. It doesn't mean 150 people living here are same. It doesn't mean their definitions of right and wrong are same. They're completely opposite. But daily morning study, daily morning meditation, I accept. So even if my mind starts a little critical, judgmental thinking, I pull it. Creates the vibration. There are still differences of opinion. That doesn't mean there are not differences of opinion. It is not going to be, perfect world, perfect people. It's not like that. Differences of opinion, differences of ways of working, differences of everything. But here, working on not creating critical, judgmental thinking. Understanding that everyone is unique. The line is so simple. Everyone is unique. 3 words. 3 words. Everyone is unique. I am unique. But to live it, you'll be able to create this kind of an energy if you live it. At home and at work. But for that, every morning you'll have to revise and remind yourself everyone is unique, because you'll forget by Tuesday. By Friday, next Friday, it'll just be a point in the diary. And by Monday after that, it'll be like, it was all fine there. In practical, it doesn't work. And then that it goes back to being a very beautiful memory in my subconscious that I had gone to that retreat center. But if I want to make it a reality, I have to revise it, and that is meditation. That is meditation. That who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And once I understand myself, understanding other people is very simple. I just need to understand myself first. Once you understand the basics of something, you understand one laptop, you can open any laptop. You understand one phone, you can work with any phone. But what if a person doesn't know the basics of a phone? Then they find life difficult. But if I know one version of my phone, tomorrow I get a new version. I just need a couple of hours and I know everything from there, provided I know the first one. And that first one is I. If I know how my mind works, then understanding people's minds becomes very easy. Very easy. Very natural. Last week there was somebody at the center and he said, I take extra care of people. I said, Acha. He said, people around me keep saying, don't take so much care of us. And I just looked at him and I said, it's because you're insecure. And he was like, huh? I said, yeah, you fear losing people. That's why you're taking extra care. First he paused for 2 minutes. And he's saying, how do you know this? I said, because I come to know when I feel that in my own mind. So I can see it's happening. It's so easy. And he thought it was the most complicated thing to understand what's happening in his mind. I said, everything else in this world is complicated. There's only one thing which is very easy. It's you. And once you start seeing how this works, understanding people's insecurities, understanding people's fears who are working with you, understanding people's jealousies, it will become simple for you. And once it becomes simple for you, you will not say, how can they be like this? Why do they do that? You've understood them. And now you understand and you work with them. You understand and you live with them. But to understand them is not possible till I understand myself. It's just not possible. So meditation and spirituality means only one thing: understanding myself, energizing myself, empowering myself. And once I do that and make that a part of my life, then the rest of the tree is taken care of. So the more I understand myself, the more I understand my body. Today we are doing so much with our body without even realizing whether what I'm doing with the body is right or wrong. You will be able to immediately feel the impact of your emotion on your body. You will be able to immediately feel that what you have eaten, what vibrate. Another reason why you're feeling peaceful here, because the food cooked here is cooked in a peaceful manner. That's the reason. I can make out now, any of here who meditate daily, we can make out, I can make out the state of the mind of the person when I've eaten something. Because it immediately, I can feel that energy. Because everything is energy. It's just that we focused on seeing our life, everything that's visible, and meditation teaches us to focus our life also on what is not visible. So the vibration, the mind. And when we take care of that, the rest of the tree is taken care of. The seed will radiate the vibration to the tree. So even to feel your body, to be aware of what's happening in your body, you will need to be aware here. Otherwise, there's so much noise here that we can't even make out what's happening here. Leave alone what's happening in relationships. So let's put the seed as priority. Willing to do that? Willing to do that? Do we have time from Monday onwards? How much time? How much time are you ready to invest? What do you think? Once you start nourishing the seed on a daily basis, then the activity that is lined up for the day, do you think it'll happen in lesser time? So do you understand why we are always short of time? It's not because we are short of time, it's because we are short of energy. A calm mind, a mind which accepts people, a mind which is creative and intuitive, will complete every task faster, easily, and in most cases, accurately. Because the lens here is clean. I see everything through my lens, right? So when we start working on ourselves, initially it's an investment of time. Yes, from today I have to take out 15 minutes or half an hour, whatever. It's an investment. So the first couple of months is like I have to take out time. And after that you will have more time than you need. Certain. 100% certain. That is the experience of millions of people. Tired minds are working hard. Tired minds are working hard. But when I start energizing the mind, then I'm able to finish things faster. Most important is relationships are easier, no? Life becomes quite simple. It's the heaviness in the relationships which creates the problem. I sit, I have a meeting, something goes my way, something doesn't go my way. That noise remains on my mind for the next 1 hour. But I'm on my next assignment. But what about the noise that's going on in my mind? How do I put a full stop to that noise? So I'm working on something along with that noise in my mind. They did this, he said this, she said this. Once meditation means to shut down that noise, then the energy on the next project is like 100%. Things happen faster. And when I return home in the evening, to be able to shut down the noise of the workplace. How many of you have children? Achha, almost everybody. The energy you radiate to them by the end of the day is what you have created throughout the day. So if rejection was normal throughout the day, if stress was normal throughout the day, if fear then that's the package that I carry home in the evening. Nowadays, corporate language, what is your package? Well, that's my package that I carry, not at the end of the month, but the end of the day. That's my package for my family every day at the end of the day. And so, even if you don't find the need to meditate for yourself, life is okay, manageable. Please do it for them. Because by the time they reach where you are today, the world would have changed. And the only thing that would be needed would be a powerful mind to survive. And without that, people are going to find life people finding it difficult even now, but I know what the word would be that time. I don't know what the word would be that time. So the children today, we are yet to see the consequence of our lifestyle when they come into professional life. Vulnerability, not being able to listen to a no, having life their way. Bless them by not giving them everything that they want. Don't try to make up for your shortage of time. Don't compensate it by giving them everything they ask for. They have to listen to a no. At the age of 25, they cannot start listening to a no suddenly. They don't have the power then. Let them bend, let them adjust, let them go through something difficult. Let them listen to a no. Be strict. Be little strict. Because life is not lenient. And spouse definitely not. How will, just imagine 25 years later, suddenly they have to meet a person and two people are going to come into a relationship, both have not heard a no. Not only one child, no, the other one is also somebody else's child who's lived their life like, kya chahiye aapko, kya chahiye aapko, kya chahiye, I'll give you everything you want. How will these two people live with each other? How exactly are they going to be with each other? And that's why people nowadays say, I don't want to get married. People say it's very complicated, that's why they don't want to get married. So why? It's not, relationships are not complicated. I have not energized my mind. So listening to a no means having the ability to face a situation which life throws at me, which is not my way. For a child, it could be just a meal. That's their life, no? There's nothing more. But when they say, I don't want to eat this, the parent immediately says, Acha, what do you want to eat then? Chal, I'll give you that then. Did our parents do that with us? What did they do? What did they do? What did they do? Yehi hai, khana hai to khao, nahi khana hai to nahi khao. Let's become like that. But you know what we thought? We thought, no, I don't want to be like that parent, where I will just give and I have to eat what. I will allow my child to make choices. What do you want to eat? What do you want to wear? Where do you want to go? So which is good, but we have a lifetime to cultivate choices. Then somebody says we have to create a questioning mind. Keep on questioning. What? So they question so much. So you're teaching a questioning mind, but then you will also have to teach an accepting mind. No, you can't teach only a questioning mind. You create a problem for that child. You tell that child, Namaste karo, he'll say, Kyun? Kyun matlab? Bend down, touch the feet of your elders. Kyun? Everything is a kyun. Then either you have to logically explain to them, otherwise they'll say, we're not going to do it. Which is also fine. But will life always be that way for them? So we have to be very clear. We learn certain things from some culture and we'll say, okay, questioning mind, power of choices, power to face a no, power to adjust, power to bend, power to let go. Who will create that power in that child? And then that child is suddenly 18 years old, doesn't get admission in the college that they want, and all the money of the parent is not able to get them that admission. Child says, I don't want to live. The child faces a rejection in relationship. They say, I don't want to live. Because that one little rejection from the relationship for them is a very big thing, because they had never heard a no. When we were in college, like, अच्छा rejection, 2 दिन उदास, तीसरे दिन normal. Because हमने तो जीवन में इतने rejection देखे हैं, so many no's we had heard all our life. इधर जाना है, no. ये खाना है, no. ये लेना है, no. We probably heard more no's than yes, right? Everything was like, नहीं, इतने पैसे नहीं हैं, अभी नहीं ले सकते, दिवाली पर लेंगे, अगले साल लेंगे, पार्टी पे क्यों जाना है तो कब आना है, फ़ोन किसका आया, उठाएंगे, चेक करेंगे. We lived like that and we thought like, कितने strict parents, I don't want to be like them. And then we went and told our children, we are going to be your friends. Because my parents were very strict. I'm not going to be like a parent, I will be like a friend. How many of you are friends to your parents? I mean, to your children? Sunday, go back and tell them, I am your parent. I am a parent who accepts. I am a parent who is ready to listen to anything that you have to say. I am ready to hear the worst that you have done and I will be calm and stable. But I am a parent. They have only one set of parents. They have only one set of parents. I was at a friend's place and her daughter walked in. It was late night. And she just looked at her daughter and she said, and very sweetly, not like my mother would have said. My mother would have said, "Ye koi time hai aane ka itne baje." She didn't say like that. She said, "Is this the time that you should have come home?" Very sweetly, very politely. And the daughter looked back at her and said, "Don't try and become my mother. Remember, we are friends." I was like, wow. She said it. They both were very sweet to each other, very polite, very respectful. She also asked very carefully. I said, "Adhikar se nahi puchte." Very sweetly, "Don't you think you're a little late?" And she said, "Don't try and become my mom. Remember, we are friends." And she immediately said, "Ha, we are friends, we are friends." What? Which means what? What does this mean? Which means only talk like friends, allow me to do what I want to do. Is that what is our role? No. Later on, they will turn back to you and they will say, "You should have stopped me from doing what I was doing." And that time we will say, "I tried, but you did not listen." And they will turn back and say, "I was a child. I did not understand what is right or wrong. Why did you have to be strict with me and stop me?" But by that time it is. So when we learn acceptance, we can be very assertive and yet acceptance. We can listen to our child coming home and telling us the worst. "I did this today, I experimented with this today," and you will be stable because you have learnt to be stable. Friends means we accept anything that the other person comes and says. But I can be a parent who is accepting. I can be a parent with whom the child can come and share everything, but then I switch to talking about what is right and wrong in life, and also being a little strict that this is not how we live in this house. This is not how it has happening here. We have to teach them self-discipline, self-control. It's not a muscle which gets exercised after 25, 30. Then it hurts a lot at that age. It really, really pains. And that is what is happening to them. It's paining. That's why they're saying anxiety, anxious, depressive. What is all this? It is that pain of that muscle which is now having to face something which is not their way. Having lived a life of only choices. Having lived a life believing life is what I choose is what happens. And when it doesn't happen. The other day I met a couple, 16-year-old son. Came late from a party. The parent must have said something. He had also had something. Said, "Okay, whatever happened," that child went up on the terrace that night itself. And that's it. And now the parents are only looking at each other and saying, "Did we say too much?" Then they're blaming it each other. "तुम्हें ऐसे नहीं बोलना चाहिए था, तुम्हें वैसे नहीं बोलना चाहिए था." But why was the child not able to take that much? Because probably it was not said that way for 16 years. And now everyone around who's heard about it, what they are saying, now we cannot say anything to children. What if they do this? See how simple things can become complicated because that muscle was not exercised. So that's why meditation, when we start practicing, our parenting changes. So if there's one thing that we need for parenting, it's meditation. Which means my mind is calm, stable. I will not be reactive, but I will be assertive. I will be assertive. I will not feel guilty that I'm spending less time with you. And I will not compensate that with money. And I will not compensate that by allowing you to do what you do just because I was away. No. I'm very clear. I'm working for the rest of the family, but this is how we live. This is how we do. Very assertive. But that needs power. That needs power, and that needs patience. Patience. How did our parents feed us? They would spend an hour to feed us a meal, running after us all around, telling us stories. What do? Switch on the TV and give them. Now eat, because I don't have time. And then after 5 years, we tell them, no, distracted eating is not good. Now mindful eating. Forget about it. Now it is a habit already. So meditation is the power to empower others. There's no other way to be able to give your children power. There's no other way. The only way is to create that power within you. You don't even have to go there and tell them do this, do that. Nothing. Create that power in you and radiate that power. And make self-care a priority in the family. And then tomorrow self-care a priority at workplace. So that together we create a world where happy minds and powerful minds are then creating healthy bodies, harmonious relationships, and a beautiful experience at a workplace. That's the order in which it has to go. And so what you will experience, you will become instrumental in creating that experience for so many. So when we return, not Monday morning, Sunday morning, tomorrow, don't say today is Sunday, so today I will not meditate. No. By the Monday, the mind will give up the idea. So it has to happen the next day. The next day. So Sunday morning, begin that day that way. And you still actually need to learn meditation. This was just a meditative experience created by someone else for you. But when at home, we will not have that environment, somebody else assisting me. So we need to learn meditation also. And then it's something which you can get little children also to sit with you. They don't need to sit for 15 minutes, but even if they sit for 3 minutes, still doing nothing, and they just do deep breathing, that will also relax them. Remove all the toxins that they are creating in their self with all the stresses over here. So it starts becoming a culture of the house. Becomes the culture of the house. That early morning, how are we beginning the day? Just how we used to do 25, 30 years back. The morning would begin with high vibrational words, prayers, chanting, meditation, puja, havan, high vibrational energy. Everyone had to be energized before they set out for the day, which means charge your battery before you leave for work. Once we do that, the rest of the day is taken care of, because then the rest of the day I can use the power to accept. Otherwise, acceptance is only a word. We are not hearing it for the first time. We know the word. We know acceptance, we know empathy, we know compassion, we know forgiveness, we know letting go. But it is only a word till I charge this battery. Then it becomes my reality. So few steps that which we can start from Sunday is our early morning routine. And for early morning, we also will need to sleep. Saturday night. I cannot wake up early if I sleep late. And most important is, many of us are sleep deprived. We are sleep deprived. Not because we are sleeping less, it's because we are not sleeping deep. So deep sleep needs to be experienced, and for which disconnect from your work for 2 hours before you sleep. And if you're the head of your organization, head of your team, then make it a culture for everybody. It's the best gift you can give to people. Best gift. Once you're out of the office, nobody calls up anybody, writes to anybody, message, we'll meet tomorrow morning. That's the way to create healthy minds. That's how the world used to be before we got our toys. And that's why we didn't have all these issues which we're talking about today. So the technology was meant to make life comfortable. We didn't use it the right way. And so let's use them, but use them the right way. Is it okay if we disconnect from work after returning home? Is it possible?
Yes.
Possible?
Yes.
Let's experiment. Experiment कर सकते. You will have fresh, energized minds coming to work the next morning. Creative, intuitive, and those who have created good relationships at home, because most relationships at home are getting affected. Hanji.
Boston Consulting Group in US actually did this experiment.
Right.
For one group of people, they said you continue to take your mobile and keep it on. For the other group, they said don't answer any work emails. We don't expect. It was an experiment, so they agreed for 1 full month. And when they compared the productivity, this group came up with much better ideas, much better proposals, less stress, and more rejuvenated and better health.
Better relationships also must be.
Just because they did
Yes.
not check their work email after 6 p.m.
That's all. Isn't it logical that all that result will happen? Don't you think it's logical? We don't even need to do it as an experiment to see whether this will happen. It's logical. You go home and you're at work. Your spouse is also at work. And then we're saying, but I'm sitting with you, right? So why are you complaining? I'm sitting with you. What is sitting with me? What is sitting with me? So we do a big ehsan on the other person and we do a bigger ehsan on the children. Why are you complaining? I sat with 2 hours with you today. We even quantify the time we spend with them. It's not about whether I'm sitting with you, whether my mind is sitting with you. So experiment. They shut down at 6 o'clock. At least let's do it at 8 o'clock to begin with. No? Yes. Yes. And give that gift to everybody at your workplace. They will spend quality time with their family. They will have less relationship issues. They will be able to strengthen their children. They will have less issues from their children. They would have rested their mind and then experienced deep sleep. Don't you think they will perform better next morning? Do we need an experiment to understand this? When this Delhi-Gurgaon expressway, normally in the morning is a traffic jam. I just keep looking at the faces of the people because the face shows the state of the mind. There's no difference between morning and evening now. No difference. They look equally tired in the morning. Most of them have fallen off to sleep if they are at the back seat. Subah sote hain 9 baje. Who will sleep at 9 o'clock in the morning? And you can check that on the flight. If you're returning from your own flight tomorrow morning, early morning people are sleeping, 9 o'clock, unless they keep themselves. How can anybody sleep at 9 o'clock in the morning? It's a sleep-deprived person. Ask them, did you sleep last night? Of course I slept last night. And nowadays we sleep longer hours because doctor says 8 hours, doctor says 9 hours. If you stop working for 2 hours before you go to sleep, you're actually going to need less sleep. And then you will be awake at the highest productivity time of the 24-hour cycle, which the world calls the 5 a.m. leadership club. The intuitive, the creative. But if I wake up at 5 a.m. like this, all fatigued, then it's not a very creative time. I have to experience deep sleep for that. So 2 hours before we sleep, food should be digested, information should be digested, which means both the files close, this and this. But late nights, heavy dinners, late dinners, working till we go to sleep, and then after I finish all my work, then Netflix, and then after I finish watching that, then on the bed, social media, then lifestyle is only a word. Not just for the mind, even for the body, then lifestyle is only a word. So we have to be very careful what we are consuming. So meditation is not 15 minutes. It's a very high vibrational lifestyle. The way we sleep, what time we sleep, the quality of sleep, then what time we wake up, the way we wake up. We don't even need an alarm. If you experience deep sleep, you don't need an alarm after that. And if we don't experience deep sleep, in spite of the alarm, we don't feel like waking up because the mind is tired. And so we say like 5 minutes or sona hai. 7 hours ke baad 5 minutes or sona is a sign the mind did not sleep. So let's do this 1 month experiment. Balabhai, 1 month experiment. How many ready to join the experiment? Disconnect from work at 8 o'clock in the evening. Not even 6, 8. We're being little liberal. How now? A little liberal. That 8 o'clock at least. And then what time should we sleep? Not that we disconnect from work and we engage with something else. To wake up between 4 and 5 a.m., the high creative time, we should be asleep by 10 p.m. Hanji.
I was saying there was also one more we learnt yesterday. In addition to I am unique.
I'm master of my life.
So start with that.
Of course. Yes.
The more we remember, then we can, doing this becomes so easy if we keep that in the awareness that I can do it.
Yes.
That's why I was saying 24 घंटे भी नहीं हुए हमारे फ्रेंड्स सब भूल गए कि हम 8 बजे भी बंद नहीं कर सकते and you forgot that you are the master and most of you are creators, CEOs, leaders.
Yeah.
You are the ones who drive things, change the world.
Yeah. You will not just create a beautiful life for yourself, you will gift this beautiful life to everybody who works with you. And you know how much blessings you will get in return? When even one family is able to resolve their relationship conflict, you know how energy shifts? And if there's one family which is actually talking about divorce nowadays, and then you give them, okay, don't be at work once you return home. Suddenly everything will change in that house. Because it's not just being at work, it is the mind being very... So work was one part of life. Work is not life. Work is one part of life. And priority is self, family, work. And when you take care of the self and have a beautiful, smooth relationship at home, then what you do at work is magic. Magic. So give people this gift. When it was lockdown, everybody thought life will become so simple now at home. And within a few days, I mean, the kind of stories people were sharing about their organizations during lockdown, it was inhuman. It was literally inhuman what was happening. They said, "Hamara to ab koi time hi nahi hai, whether it's 10 o'clock in the night, whether it's 12 o'clock in the night, we are asked to come online anytime." What exactly are we trying to do? What are we trying to do? And then if this work style creates a mental health issue, a physical health issue, or a family issue in anyone's life in my company, it's my karma. So being a leader is not just all the fun that comes with it, it's all the karmas that come with it. It's all the karmas that come with it. My karma, my social responsibilities, everyone should go back light and spend good time with family, take good rest, experience deep sleep. Whenever we tell corporates meditation, say time nahi hai. Raat ko time pe so, time nahi hai. Bachcho ke sath time nahi hai. And reason kya hai? Workplace. So workplace ko blessings ki opposite energy mil rahi hai. Because they're blaming all their pain onto the workplace. So let's experiment. Experiment. And then 6-7 hours of, not even 7 is too much, but even to begin with, 6-7 hours of deep sleep, you will wake up on your own by 5 a.m. Here everyone is working throughout the day and their wake up song is at 3:30 a.m. And by 4 a.m. everybody is in the hall to meditate. And they don't go to sleep before 10, definitely not. And they look fine, right? ठीक लग रहे हैं सबके चेहरे आपको? हाँ, ठीक लग रहा है. So it works. So we are only sharing a model which we've already experimented and it works. So early to bed, early to rise makes a person healthy, wealthy, wise. We learned in school. Children today don't use this line anymore. When you start this sleeping habit, they will learn gradually. Because most of their issues are because of wrong sleeping patterns. Mental health gets affected because of wrong sleeping patterns. So we do it. Now after disconnecting from work, also disconnect from any other kind of media which has negative emotions. That's not what we need to take to bed here. It will go into the subconscious after that. And keep your last 15 minutes for yourself. Write a daily journal. Release anything that was not healthy, what was created during the day. If I reacted, let me apologize in my mind to that person. Send a little sorry. Forgive those who made a mistake. Clean this. Have a shower here, not just a shower here before sleeping. Shower here. And then 10 minutes of meditation. Then read something which is the kind of content we are listening here. We read or study or listen to that kind of content for 10 minutes before go to sleep. So that in the next 6 hours, it is processed by my subconscious. It becomes as part of my personality. So 15 minutes of me time. And then 15 minutes in the morning. That's all that is needed. That's all that is needed. And taking care of what? You didn't do a session on digital wellness with them? No? Oh. So then you will send them a link just at least to hear that? Yes. All this is incomplete unless we do that topic. That how are we going to use our technology in a healthy manner? First hour of the morning is not for media, for phones and for work emails. It's your time. Yoga, breathing technique, taking a walk, sitting doing nothing. When was the last time you were sitting doing nothing? Sit doing nothing. Enjoy your own company. Enjoy your own company. We are running and suddenly something happens and then we realize how futile that running was. Last month they left the body suddenly due to an illness. Very senior position in an organization. And then there was a prayer meeting where all the members of the company had also come. And his wife was there and his 2 daughters were there. And they all appreciated him. They talked about all the good about him and everything. And then they gave the family a letter saying that, we're always there for you. And if any time you or your daughters want a job, our company is always there for you. And Om Shanti, that's the end. So that's all that the organization will give. This is a reality of life. Why? That person was just working. Extra sincere, very hard working. But working. How much the mind and body is going to take? So priority, work is important, but we are working for our family. We're working for our happiness and health. And not for you, just for the entire team, for your entire organization. Be leader in this. Set an example for other organizations to copy you. In the West, most of the companies work like that, right? So when we're learning so much from them and copying so much, then let's copy this also. They don't work on Saturday, Sundays. They don't even take calls. No, it's my Saturday, Sunday. I will not do this meeting online Saturday, Sunday. They don't talk after 6 p.m. about work. No, we will meet on Monday morning. Let's copy that culture. Let's copy that is healthy. It works. It works. Then only you will be able to teach your children to live the right way. Otherwise, it won't happen. So just 15 minutes in the night, 15 minutes in the morning, during the day, prioritizing the seed, getting work done but without shouting, without getting agitated, patiently, peacefully. That is prioritizing the seed, accepting people, and stopping at all the red signals in life. All the red signals in life. Self-discipline and self-control is the key to self-mastery. Without that, it will not happen. It will not happen unless I put those boundaries and I say, I have to be inside this boundary circle. Will not happen. And then this retreat was a day and a half experience. Then come back again. And come back with family. Would you like to come back with family? Yes. And with children. With children. So we do a separate retreat for the children. So while the parents are in one room, the children are in another room. And Both together also. Yes. Matlab some sessions, no, we do for them children. Meditation is together, our activities are together. And then some sessions are and then some sessions are about things between parents and children. And just when both of them sit together and say out their things, they themselves resolve all their issues. Nobody else can resolve our issues. We resolve them while we openly talk about them. So this place is now your home. And feel free to come anytime. And you have to yet come to Mount Abu, which is the headquarters of the organization. Just last weekend, we did a 3-day retreat there. And there were about 300 people. And they spent Thursday evening, Friday, Saturday, Sunday there. And for the last 1 week, all those who I know went there for that retreat have continued that, whatever they learned over there. And they firmly believe that this will create a shift in their life. So actually 1.5 days a little, it should be at least 3 days. Because by the time you and it's over. By the time you just set in, because first day is like everything is different. So in 1.5 days, it's too less. They found even 3 days too less, but still, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So next year we'll have that retreat again on our Good Friday weekend. That is our fixed weekend for the Mount Abu retreat. So welcome to all of you with your spouses. With your spouses. Thank you so much. Let's take a minute of silence. And just focus the attention into the center of the forehead. That's the energy center. Creating an intention today. I prioritize myself. I am the seed of the tree of my life. I create my feelings. I create the health of my body. I create the energy of my relationships. I create my work. I am the creator. And I am the master of my life. I have a choice what to create. I choose, I create, I radiate. I prioritize myself. In everything I do, I prioritize the being, the energy, the thinking, the feeling, and then come into the doing. The experience and the vibrations I have absorbed here is going to be the benchmark now. I create these. this is how I will be Sunday morning onwards. The place will change. People will be different. I will be who I am right now. Calm, peaceful, accepting, master of my mind, master of my life. Om Shanti.